No stopping their racing. Here's number 14, Rossa Prada Pirelli, Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Straight out the blocks, this team's polished performance will have been a wake-up call to the other challengers. Drivers Spittle and Bruni led the way in sharing the helm, and this time around seems smoother and calmer than ever. Looking after performance is trimmers Molinares and Tissé, pumping life into the machine, clipping in Voltellini, Liuzzi, Brezzi and Olympic windsurfer Gamboni.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing, previously a 2 times America's Cup winner in 2003 and 2007. Sailing here in Barcelona is starboard helmsman Arnaud Sarafagis, and controlling the foil package behind him is Brian Matreau. Steering the yacht on the port side, 25-year-old Maxime Bachelon, joined by Nicolas Rolla. Augustin Malifer, Florian Trube, Paul Jacot and Arthur Servet round out the power-providing punters at the back of the bus.
So, race 14, Rossa Prada Pirelli. Let's be blunt, a win here will certainly put them right into the final. We are still waiting to see something special from Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
This is the race committee. We have completed the wind sampling, and this race is live.
So 2 minutes and 52 seconds to race start of number 14 in this Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. And I wonder if particularly the likes of Rossa Prada Pirelli had a look at that last result and went, oh, okay.
Potentially a couple of raised eyebrows, but racing is racing. Very shifty and puffy out there, so any of these teams that we've seen can take a race win. So all-important race for Rossa Prada Pirelli here.
A little bit more breeze.
The final as well, clearly,
yeah, over 12 knots. Good to go.
Absolutely, not far off entry here, Rossa Prada Pirelli.
So they have port entries, you can see the Italian flag. They've got to be in by no sooner than 2 minutes and 10. They'll come in a tiny bit late, but the Silver Bullet will just get in there, and they'll start their mini dance with Alinghi Red Bull Racing, who can't come in inside the 2 minute marker. They'll come in just a little bit under, and here we go.
Transition, up to board. Time 1:15. 40 to the boundary. They're going quite low. They're on the committee line. Going one board. Closer a bit. 1:05. Committee line for us by attack here.
We've seen a confidence from Alinghi Red Bull Racing in the pre-start. I don't expect them to be intimidated by Jimmy Spittle.
They're going to be throwing the bell and the kitchen sink at these guys. Interesting to see what they do.
Sucking down. Happy to kill tire.
Rossa heading deep into the box. Inside the ley lines.
Those red tram lines there, for those not into match racing, basically you want to stay inside that corridor. If you're outside that corridor, you risk getting locked out or missing the start.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing choosing not to engage. For them now, it's all about timing, when to get your foot on the gas and go for it.
Yep, they'll be looking to do a really big high-speed build here. Watch the speed increase as they come in to put the pressure on Alinghi. Oh, sorry, Rossa Red Bull Racing. 33 knots.
Rush. Okay, on to one bottom.
Both boats still a little early.
Heavy push.
Rossa Prada Pirelli having to defend here. Big speed difference there. 8 knots of boat speed.
Alinghi pushing.
Okay, Mike, protest. Vas-y, va plus haut. Come up.
You're in trouble. 4. But then a big attack for you. Start on it.
Magnificent job there, Stephen.
Wow, what a start by Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They've forced the issue on Rossa Prada Pirelli. They'll have to go back over the line and restart.
Restart penalty, Italy.
Great job, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, to start race number 14.
That is a huge pre-start scalp.
Italy still has restart penalty.
Oh, and they've got to go back even further. A massive mistake there from Rossa Prada Pirelli. They will be filthy with themselves for letting them get into that situation.
maybe we saw this coming when we saw Alinghi Red Bull race against Emirates Team New Zealand yesterday, and the way they dialed up against them.
Surprised by Luna Rossa, weren't you? They were sitting ducks there, just, you know, too much time to kill, and Alinghi just pushed and pushed.
Just too down speed, and we talked about that big speed differential. Alinghi Red Bull Racing just 8-9 knots faster, and doing a really good job there to put Rossa Prada Pirelli on the back foot, and they have a massive deficit. After a minute of sailing, they are 520 metres behind, so a huge job here to catch up to Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing half a kilometre ahead, and we're not even round at Mark 1. If you are them, you just need to calm it down, concentrate on performance.
Let's go to chase 0 and Peter Lester. How about that for a start?
That had me on the edge of my seat. That was a fantastic start by Alinghi Red Bull Racing, and it just showed how powerful it can be if you get a boat really high, lots of speed, big push, and then Rossa Prada Pirelli were a bit of a sitting duck, and even with, 10, 15 seconds to go, Jimmy Spittle said, oh, we're in trouble here, and they are in trouble. The other thing that's really noticeable is looking upwind, it's quite easy to see the wind on the water. Looking downwind, we're at the top mark, really hard to see the different gradient wind on the water just because of the colour differential.
Well, our team on the water, Stephen, thinks Italy may have had troubles with the starboard board, and we can definitely dive deep into that when we speak to Jimmy at the end of the race.
Well, we've been talking about, you know, if you want to be in this game, you've got to be reliable across the board. So part of the game, and they've suffered again. Let's take a look at that start again. That was an absolute ripper.
Just having a look at the virtual here, you see the boundaries of both boats overlapping there, so definite penalty there to Rossa Prada Pirelli, and then coming back to restart and then actually not restarting correctly, so a double unforced error, if you like.
They have that on a screen, so they should be able to see when it goes from, you know, red to green. So a bit of an error there for Luna Rossa.
Well, this is a good test for Alinghi Red Bull Racing now. Right, now you've got the lead, but you hold the lead, right?
You pin the ears back and you send it. That's exactly what they'll be doing. They'll be just wanting to sail the boat cleanly from here, pick up those shifts, the puffs and the lulls, join the dot to dot. They'll be really looking to sail a clean tactical race from here to just stay in front of their opponents all the way through to the finish here.
The final day of this Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta, and two of the big dogs might be dunked in the water.
Well, as we've seen in the past, anything can happen at any particular time. So really, really great shots here. Looking down aboard Alinghi Red Bull Racing. The cycling team there of Augustin Malafa, Florian Trube, Paul Jacot and Arthur Survey. They will be absolutely balls to the wall, so to speak, putting a huge amount of power into those pumps. Very wavy conditions there, so fantastic to see them really commanding some authority in this race.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing heading to the top gate for the first time in a strong position. Absolutely dealt to Rossa Prada Pirelli at the start. Now they have to take advantage of it as they head around and go downwind on the second leg.
Oh, a little wobbly rounding there. There would have been a little bit of ring pucker there from the guys. I saw that rudder get a bit close to the surface. I was like, oh, here we go, but they managed to keep it under control. Not easy in these wavy conditions to keep the boat sailing smooth. And
Rossa Prada Pirelli. They get around the top gate for the first time and start the chase again downwind, and we know this is a quick boat.
Watching the flex of the rudder there as the boys bore the boat away. The structure's all working hard here, particularly in these waves, and not easy to sail in these conditions, but both teams doing a solid job.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 1.8 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 120.
Good angle.
Got to say, when you look at that shot with Barcelona at the top of your screen, or whatever size your screen is around the world, it is a magical venue for AC75 sailing.
A little flatter heel, Jimmy. Spill inside the
It's great to have the wind field, isn't it? We can see what Alinghi Red Bull Racing are about to sail into, and they'll be happy to see that breeze on the water and just try and extend.
Yeah, look at it. They're just getting sailing into the back of that pressure, and they will get carted down the course. You'll be able to see the angle change there as they get into that pressure compared to Alinghi Red Bull Racing. And yeah, wonderful images there from Capgemini of actually being able to see what Mother Nature is providing these boats as the power source.
It's interesting today. We're all a little bit concerned about the sea state and how all the teams would handle it, but they're handling it pretty well.
You'd much rather be on an AC75 than out there in a pleasure craft today. Super smooth on a foiling boat if you're sailing and foiling well, and the old displacement boats rattle your teeth out trying to keep up with these boats on a day like today.
It's a big day though for the kit, isn't there? I mean, is there an element, Glenn, of sort of trying to look after stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. All these teams, you know, really having to look after their assets as they go forwards, but at the same time, you know, they're out there racing. Oh, that's...
Oh, hang on!
Oh, no! Alinghi Red Bull Racing, massive mistake there. Don't know if there's a boat issue here.
What has gone on leading the race?
Big trim, guys. Everything you have.
Luna Rossa absolutely hunting them down. They will blow round the front of Alinghi Red Bull Racing here if they can't get the boat up to speed quickly.
Don't worry.
And they're gone around the bow there. Oh, disaster for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They need to get the boat wound up again. Big job for the cycles here.
Critical moment in race number 14. You wouldn't believe it. All the pressure on Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
This is the umpires. Penalty Italy. Penalty Italy.
Just watching this here. Oh, just lost the rudder too high on the foils, and down you go. Talk about testing structures, Shirley. This is testing one right here. Bang, down she comes. And now we're seeing, I think, a penalty on Rossa Prada Pirelli for potentially not keeping clear as they overtook Alinghi Red Bull Racing. So interesting to see what we see here coming up.
Luna Rossa still has that penalty, a windward lured penalty, as you say, getting way too close.
Towards him, and we can do a U for left, maybe. Coming. Just an idea. Let's go with the trimmer.
Yep, washing that 75-metre distance off. It's a get behind 75-metre distance here from Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Oh my goodness! You think you've got them and then you get done. This is really game on in race 14. So Alinghi Red Bull Racing, despite that stuff, get back into the lead. And they're around the bottom mark and both heading upwind. Wow!
You got it. You got 50 metres.
Happy with positive here.
On the wind. On the wind.
Penalty clear. Coming up.
Penalty clear. All good. Good shape.
35 target. Go. I'm if you want.
Just 1 second, guys. Shut up. Okay. Get on target. And we're on the left team phase. All good, boys. Very good pressure here.
That is good.
And by tech when you're ready. 2, 1.
Interesting, this next cross.
Tango.
Shirley coming up.
Building 6.
What a race.
All over, Jimmy.
After no bite.
Wow, you can just see how puffy and complicated this racetrack is. Look at the wind field.
The big puffs and lulls. Looks like Alinghi
Building 1.
getting a nice one out there on the left-hand side.
Behind, we are in the game.
A little righty coming too.
A good righty for us. He may back on us. He keep the speed for the tack. Get it now.
Slower.
Talk about the winning, please.
No.
I'm pressing.
Just behind us.
Speed is coming.
Huge pressure differential there across the course. So this is the replay of the penalty from Rossa Prada Pirelli, Shirley, and those electronic boundaries, oh, they must have only just crossed over there, but Rossa Prada Pirelli didn't need to be that close.
I don't know.
This is Alinghi's view out the window. Oh, there you go. Clean your goggles.
Come down, Max.
And although there was no contact, there is essentially a virtual bubble around the boats here. We see it now, and if those bubbles cross like they did right there, then that is way too close, and the penalty went to Luna Rossa.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shortening the course to 1.6 nautical miles.
We've got the live wind on the bottom of the screen there. It is going down, isn't it? We're seeing 8 knots now. It is forecast to drop as the day progresses.
It's similar. Maybe it's finding going to us. Yeah. Come up and click if you want.
Yep, coming. Keep rumbling, boys. Good mod under. Happy with 0 here.
A little game for us, potential.
Right of way boat, Alinghi Red Bull Racing on the starboard. Luna Rossa must keep clear. This is such a tight cross.
Stand by, guys.
Stay low. Nice.
That was a cracker of attack there.
Yep.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing leaving it really late and putting Luna Rossa under a lot of pressure.
There is no room for error if you pull off a manoeuvre like that, is there?
That was an absolute beauty.
We are seeing what potentially could be the start of a very big summer here in Barcelona. If we're going to have these boats going at it like this, cannot wait. Cannot wait. We're 4 days away from the Louis Vuitton Cup, the Challenger Selection Series.
Neck and neck between Luna Rossa and Alinghi. Nothing in it.
Taking back.
Be nice to see a little replay of that last cross at some point of the proceedings.
Just one behind.
And you see Alinghi Red Bull Racing just saying, stand by, cop some roost straight out the back of that rear tyre, clean your goggles, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, and away you go.
Yep.
This is nice. We've talked about the word aggressive earlier in the piece here today, but this is a nice aggressive showing from Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
There's an accuracy to the way they're sailing, and you're right, they're confident and aggressive. It's impressive.
I've actually got gain to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli here just in the last sort of 30 seconds, so stand by for the intersection coming into the top.
So despite all that, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli have made the gain to the top gate.
3, 2, 1, board down.
Going to take the right-hand mark as they set, left-hand mark as you set on whatever screen you're watching. 2 boards down just to make it nice and safe and heading down. So they've got their nose in front now of Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Not super windy below us, but smell the pressure in front. Nice pressure.
Boat handling just so critical in these conditions, and I think Alinghi Red Bull Racing had a little wobble there just coming into the top half of the course, and a bad tack and left the door open for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli to retake the lead. And interesting to see the 2 boats sailing downwind here into the coming pressure.
Let's go on to the chase boat for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Pedro Sabello joins us right now. Cracking start. This is not over yet, Pedro. You must be on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, here on the chase we are all, or as you say, on the edge. Very emotional here, but yeah, we see in the last couple of days great job of the guys pushing the stars, and I think it's amazing what we are seeing. This is a real match race, and it's not easy to sail in this wave condition under pressure like that. So let's keep enjoying the show.
Petro, it's Glenn here, mate. You've obviously done a lot of sailing with Jimmy. You obviously know his strengths and weaknesses as well as Francesco's, and you've obviously passed on a little bit of that information to the boys, so well done, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. That's you know, the good side of it.
Nice, mate.
Most importantly, Petro, though, we're 4 days out from the Louis Vuitton Cup. This is the sort of performance that can really lift spirits going forward.
Yes, I mean, we are for sure raising our level every day, and yeah, we'll have a break in the next days to really sum up and be ready on Thursday.
Thanks, Petro. Enjoy the rest of this one.
Thanks, guys.
Pietro Sabello, of course, was the main sheet on Luna Rossa last time around. He knows Jimmy Spittle and Francesco Bruni inside out.
One of the nicest guys in the sport, Petro Sabello, joined by a super team on and off the water. Looking at the VMG numbers here coming downwind.
He goes, we let him go now.
Pretty nice little gain there back to Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Okay.
A really good VMG there to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. So snakes and ladders as the boat surf the swell.
Coming up a click. And by to light. Anytime.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, lengthening the course to 1.7 nautical miles.
Let's go to chase zero. Peter, there's been a lot going on. What do you make of it? What happened up heading to that top mark with the Alinghi Red Bull Racing?
Well, when they came around the top mark, I was really impressed by Luna Rossa. They got out, they got a nice little wind shift and probably more pressure as they approached the top mark for the second time and jumped into the lead. But what a great fight, and Alinghi Red Bull Racing, I think, have done a great job. Just unfortunately, they got a bit tied up at the bottom.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli at the bottom gate. Heading up now, 2 more legs to go. Close, close, close.
Actually average here, so it's not bad.
And Alinghi Red Bull Racing, not done with yet.
The split here, quite interesting. You see how puffy and shifty it is, Shirley, looking up the course, like trying to link all those dots together. Really, really tricky, and a big split now, so we're going to see some wobbles to both sides of the course.
Not just changes in pressure, but also in direction. And we've had the biggest lefty, we heard it on the comms from Luna Rossa, the biggest lefty of the day. So there's a lot going on.
Onto the chase boat of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Philippe Presti joins us now live. This has had everything, this race, Philippe, but you must be comfortable at this point, are we, that you're marginally in the lead?
You're never comfortable in this sea state and shifty breeze. Today the sea state is very, very challenging. You saw Alinghi Racing did a wipe up in one of the drive, and we had trouble with the pre-start, keeping the slow mode. So everything can happen still, but yeah, so far so good.
Philippe, have you trained in this before? Is this new for all the teams, today's conditions?
No, we've been trained before, but since July we had a lot of sea breeze from the south, quite flatty, and it's been a while we haven't done these big waves. But yeah, it's fun, it's super challenging, and anything can happen in these conditions.
That's what we love. Fun and super challenging. I'm going to remember that, Philippe. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay. On the right.
Okay, we're gonna attack pretty soon here, guys. Very good pressure. Stand by. In 3, 2, 1.
Light patch. Then windward lead.
Up. Pressing. A good tip. Aye, pressure's coming from the right.
Coming back here.
Righty. Roll piano Rosso Cunningham fiocco.
-1 is good. Missing a bit of speed here if you want to press.
That's waiting for this puff. Here it comes. Okay, stand by, boys. You 2, 1.
So it's the Rossa Prada Pirelli with that lead that's sitting just under 200 metres against Alinghi Red Bull Racing. And if you have a very short memory, you'll remember they stuffed that boat and got back up, and Rossa Prada Pirelli went past but got done for a too close pass. Had to get behind, but they have found a way to get past Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Nice defending by Luna Rossa, just tacked in control, but not aggressively, not forcing the other boat to have to tack straight away, and just leading them over to that right-hand side of the track, which they seem to prefer.
Yeah, sort of just a loose cover there, really, Shirley. You know, not really slamming the door shut, but just picking their moment with the puffs and the lulls. You know, these days, it's difficult to know when exactly to tack. Do you take the shift? Do you take the puff? Do you sail another 50 metres into some better breeze? So a bit of a dance here of defending against your opponent, but also sailing the course as well.
It's so easy if you're the boat behind to get completely out of phase. Things just go from bad to worse. But Alinghi doing a great job of keeping it tight.
Punish him on the way back. Okay.
The voice of Jimmy Spittle. Punish them on the way back.
No surrender, no mercy.
Anytime. 2, 1.
Get the impression that Jimmy Spittle is fired up after this race. They've got control of it back after the stuff by Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Go straight in.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli for the final time at the top gate. Still being hunted down by Alinghi Red Bull Race. But you heard him say it. Let's punish them on the way back.
And catch.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing take the other mark and head down to the finish line.
Still plenty of opportunities here, as we saw before. Only one little wobble needed for a lead change, and it's shifty enough and puffy enough today that there is opportunities to make some gains.
This is the race committee. We are moving the finish line, shortening the leg to 1.5 nautical miles.
Breeze just dropping there a little bit. Course change shorter due to the slightly lighter wind from Alan Roberts and Ian Murray in race control.
We're seeing a huge amount of traveller adjustment and a lot of panting from the cyclers.
They will be absolutely on the rev limiter, those boys. You hear them working hard, and because the apparent wind is just shifting around so much with the swell, the boat's accelerating, apparent moving forward, boat's slowing down, climbing the hill of the wave in front because you're overtaking the waves. You see how much the sail plan's moving around, and that apparent will be shifting a lot. You have to steer, but you also have to trim the sail plan, and basically the guys providing the power to move those huge sails on the AC75 are other cyclists. They're basically providing the power for the pumps.
2, 1, board down. Nice grip.
Fantastic shot there, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Nice wave here.
Both sides of the boat
Almost laying, okay.
working in unison there. Definite team effort to sail these boats well for sure.
Bit on the slow side, so get up, maybe a bit the numbers up.
I think it's
overleading a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Flight controller in the forward position. Big job for those guys today to keep the foils in the water, but high enough in the water that they're not picking up too much drag by flying by too low. So really threading the eye of the needle with their ride height. Very, very difficult to pick a good average. Looking forwards, scanning the water, and really, really anticipating what they're sailing into. Obviously got a lot of numbers, but also going a lot by feel as well.
Good pressure.
We hear a lot of comms about mode changes and coordinating that between the four of you. It's pretty hard to get that in sync.
Getting a little lift, a little slide here, trying to hook up again. Big lift, it feels like, or line. Try and build for the jibe. 3.
Anytime.
1 coming down.
Rossa Prada Pirelli, one of the big guns in the America's Cup, and they've come back from a poor start, a penalty. They've come home to win race number 14 and put themselves in the final
Doing it the hard way.
of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. Well, they will face up to Emirates Team New Zealand.
I think we go on the usual corner.
Yeah.
I'm going 2 boards, Ubi.
Yeah, right. Buddy. Got it.
There is no denying that Alinghi Red Bull Racing, this team, are improving their tactical game big time, as you saw at the start. And they will finish this preliminary regatta with a lot of confidence going into the Louis Vuitton Cup in 4 days. They will cross the line behind Rossa Prada Pirelli, but they won't feel too bad. There's a long way to go.
Nice one. Good push on the back, guys. Really good job.
Yeah, brilliant job. Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They should really, really be proud of that effort. Fantastic job.
Yeah, and confirmation too. A 46-second deficit to Rossa Prada Pirelli, but that sort of stacks up our final. It'll be Rossa Prada Pirelli against Emirates Team New Zealand.